Hi, today we're here with Naomi Levine, who has a master's in social work and has done tremendous work over the last 12 years with people going through divorce and children of divorce. Hi Naomi, how are you?
Hi, good, thanks.
Good, great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Today, my pleasure. Today I'd like to talk about something that I hear very often with my own clients, and I respond in my own way, but I'm more interested in how you would respond. And that is, very often they'll say, my son or my daughter looks just like their father or mother, or they remind me of my soon-to-be ex, or when they act just like their father or mother, it triggers me and then I take it out on them.
Right.
How do you normally respond, if a client is sitting with you and they don't want to take it out on their kids and they don't know how to handle that?
Right.
Well, how do you handle that?
Yeah. Feeling triggered in your relationship with your children when you've had a difficult marriage is quite common, and I hear that a lot as well.
Yeah.
And it's often something that clients come to therapy to better understand and unpack, because, people feel torn. They don't, the feelings that come up feel really real, and yet they don't want to interact with their kids in that way because they feel really torn. And, interacting in a patterned way is a very human experience. So we can easily get caught in interacting with our kids in the ways in which we've interacted with their parent. And there are a lot of triggers that could potentially be in the room with a child. Maybe it's the same home that you lived in. Maybe there's an expression or a feature that the child has that is a reminder. And so often the parent catches themselves and difficult feelings come up and they re-experience themselves in that relationship, which can be really challenging.
Right. Or it could even be sometimes kids look like one parent, not the other, but if you have a son or a daughter that looks just like the other parent, well, you can't change that. So how do you recommend people? It always comes back to controlling your thoughts, controlling your mind,
managing,
right? Because you can't change the other things.
That's right.
So are there any tips or any advice that you give to people as to how they can shift their thoughts, shift their focus?
Yeah, and I think that's really important what you just raised. So in counseling, for example, we will unpack what's coming up for the client in the moment when they're with their child. What meaning are they making? So, it's not fair, or, they're just like their dad, or feelings of powerlessness. And maybe feeling powerless is something that they've experienced in their life before with their ex. Maybe they experienced in their childhood. So maybe this is something they're re-experiencing. So clients can safely explore that in counseling, unpack that, become more aware of that pattern, and through that process, be more present in their relationship with their child. Put that in the past. So when that feeling comes up, they can better recognize, oh, this is happening again. I can manage that. And cultivate different beliefs about self to replace the powerlessness, right? I can manage what I can. My child needs me. So different beliefs about self, different thoughts. And that's through taking care of the feeling that comes up, and then bringing themselves back to the interaction with their child.
Right. And I had read that, obviously if somebody's in a marriage and they're no longer in a marriage, or the marriage is ending, things didn't work out. But often what we experience or what we think today is a result, as you just said, of past trauma. If it was a long marriage, say 15, 20, 22 years, it could have been in the early stages, which is over a decade ago, and it could have been from childhood. I've read that somewhere too.
That's right.
So I like what you just said, because it's not just about controlling your thoughts, which everybody would like to do, but it's easier to control your thoughts if you understand the root of where they came from, where that original traumatic impression might have happened. Yeah. So that's very beneficial.
Yeah, and we want to sort of come to it from a place of curiosity and compassion. So we want to notice our thoughts, and we want to create some distance between our experience and those thoughts. So we can say, hey, this is happening again. I'm feeling that again. I'm thinking that again, rather than being identified with the thought.
Right. And it helps to control your thought if you understand where it's coming from versus what's going on with me. Yeah. Well, very good. Thank you for sharing that. And if you have any questions about relations with your children or your divorce, you can send me an email at mike@thedivorceguy.ca. And if you'd like to connect with Naomi directly, I'd be happy to send you her contact information, put you in touch. Thanks for watching.